Hello, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Adebankemo Oduguwa-Michael, and today I'll be talking about the few pathways or routes that you can use to relocate to the United States. Don't play with it, don't be the size. This is for everyone who can add value to the system of the United States. Come on, let's dig it together.
First and foremost, I want to thank you for choosing us and believing that America is worthy of your aspirations. We can define America in one word: possibilities.
Believe President Joe Biden for saying that it is what it is. So the way I'll be going about this is that I'll just tell you my opinion about the pathways, and you decide what really works for you. This is like a response to a question few people asked me about my last video of getting a license in the United States. So they were like, before we can actually get a license, you said, that is me, that we need to be in the system. So I felt like, okay, I can make a short video to like just talk about the pathways that I know about or I've seen really helped other people, friends and colleagues included. So the first pathway that I will be mentioning today is the very general one. That's the F1 visa. It's also called the F visa. So that's the student visa. It's usually very common. People know about the student visa. It's one of the easiest, in my opinion, is like the easiest in the least expensive if you're coming for scholarship. So about the F visa, you can have the F1 and the F2. The F1 visa is for people who want to come to the United States to study, and the F2 is like the dependent, the spouse, the children, the relatives of the student. There are some cons of this pathway and there are some pros of it. So I'll start from the pros, which I already mentioned. One, it's very easy to like get the visa. It's a very common route and people really like use that a lot. So, but there are some cons to it. For example, if you want to come to the United States as an undergrad, that means you have to pay your tuition, you have to pay for the house that you're going to live in, you're going to have to pay for the feeding, and that sums up to roughly like 200K. I don't think that is wise enough. In my opinion, I feel like you should have your undergrad from your home country and then come around for your master's or your PhD. I have some colleagues here that are actually Americans and they're already working as veterinarians, but they are still paying for their study, their undergrad, their student loans, and all of those things. So you don't want to be caught like cycling around that same thing, especially as a non-immigrant, except you have the money anyway, so you can actually come around. And let me quickly just digress a little bit. The reason some people get denied visa at the embassy is because they don't have complete documentation, or they cannot show proof that they actually have the money enough to cater for their needs when they get to the United States. So you don't want to put yourself in that kind of loop that it's so hard. You don't usually get scholarship for undergrads, so you don't want to like get yourself. Even community colleges are very expensive. Your feeding, your housing, your other expenses, you don't want to be there. That is a con for the F1 visa if you're coming as an undergraduate. As masters also, you need to get a scholarship, a fully funded scholarship, because if you don't get a fully funded scholarship, it's as good as you coming as undergraduate, because you still have to like pay for school fees that are around like 50,000 for some states or for some schools, depending on whichever school. So though people really advise that you go with top 25, top 50 schools in the United States, but if you get scholarship for other ones, full funded scholarships for other ones that are not part of the let's say first or 50, you're still good to go. You still can so long as they are real scores, because we've heard of cases of people who like were scammed. Just make sure they are real scores, right? And, like, search them, just you do everything you can to like research the school, make sure they are real scores. And as a matter of fact, have your GRA, your IELTS, do every of the tests, because those are the things that really help you in getting scholarships, and that will help you for both your PhD, if you want to do PhD or masters, and you get yourself to thank for it. A little thing about uh, the payment for masters or PhD is that the payment for PhD is actually a little bit more, not a little bit, but more than the one for masters, even in their fully funded scales. And if you're in STEM, you get paid more than if you're not in STEM. I did not make the rules. All right, so that's that about the F visa. The F visa, you can actually bring your spouse or children along, so they'll be on F2, but they will not be able to work. That is tricky. You'll want to really look into that before making that decision. So the second pathway that I'll be mentioning today is the work visa. That's the H1B or the L1 visa. So for this, I'll quickly just go into the pros of this. This will help you, like, if you already have a company in your own country that have branches here, you can just talk to your HR and then they get you transferred, they get you, moved, just relocate you. They know how to go about that. But if you have to do it by yourself, that means you have to apply to companies or firms in the United States, and that means that it is a must. You must allow your employers, the HR of the company you're applying to, or they already gave you the offer, to like file your documents for you. You don't want to be like me, that just packed our bags and then moved to the United States thinking, oh, I already have the offer and that's about it, without getting a documentation of the whole employment thing. So that happened to me. I was in Rwanda. I applied for a VETech role in the United States. On getting here, a little backstory is that I already have a master's admission, not funded. I had my now husband, my fiance then, was here, or was here, was in the United States before I came in. So I felt like I just used the other pathways that I had to like get into the United States, thinking or hoping that because I have the offer, I'll just come in, start the job, like every normal person. But that is not the way it works. You have to like get your documentation, have a documentation. I cannot overemphasize it. Have a documentation from your employer saying, this is what we are going to do. We are the ones sponsoring your visa. We are not sponsoring your visa. Just get everything documented. Have it like documented. Don't let me get aggressive. Have it documented. Let me just move. So I know it's very hard to like get the H1B or the L1s, because sometimes the employers usually complain about having to go through the stress of employing someone from another country. Why they think they can get someone in their country to just do the job. But if you're going to go through that pathway, please ensure that they have all the documentations done, and that's it. So the next pathway, the third one, is the K1 visa. That is you marrying someone who is in the United States. Not marrying per se, they call it fiancé visa. So that means that it's actually very fast, but that means that you have to come to the United States. You guys will like look at how things work out, and you have 90 days to marry the person, or you'll be sent back to your country. Yes, back to your country if you don't marry the person. So you have to marry the person in the space of 90 days. And so if maybe for some reasons you guys relationship did not work, you have to go back. But if it works, good, you're staying. So that's about that. That's just about K1. I don't really know anyone that have done that, but I've seen cases online of people who used that pathway and it really worked for them. So you can, check out the route if it suits you, or if you already have your fiance or your fiancé or your spouse, I don't know. Just try and check it out. The fourth thing is the visa lottery. And I would not stay too long on this because not every country is eligible to have themselves in the lottery. So sad. For example, Nigeria is out. They're not eligible for now. So if you're Nigerian, forget about visa lottery. It's not for you. Just take out. So there are some other countries too that are not eligible for that, but most African countries are like eligible. So if you're from those ones, you can try to apply. And I know several people who have come to the United States through visa lottery. So you can always try it if your country is eligible, and you get yourself to thank for it. See you soon, in fact. Okay, so the fifth one, because of the time, is the EB5 Investment Program pathway. So for this one, you need to like have 500 to a million, depending on the state that you're investing in, where the company is. So you have to like invest a sum of 500 to a million and in company, and then create jobs for 10 Americans or green card holders. So this is kind of expensive, in my opinion, if you know what I mean. So it is expensive, but if you have the capacity to do that, it's not a bad idea at all. It is very fast, and you get to have a 2 years of green card, temporary green card, of 2 years. That's not a bad idea. So of course, you can always like extend your green card and all of that while you go on. So for the investment, that's just the basic thing about it, and I'm trying to just give a summary because of time, and I am not a lawyer. I'm just trying to tell you the ones that I have heard of or I've seen or I can actually relate with. The last but not the least is the EB1 and 2 green card. I'll actually be putting the link to a USCIS video on YouTube in the description below this video, to let you just go there and check out to like apply and get yourself a green card. It's actually way easy with that. So, but I'm very familiar with the EB2 because that is what I'm on right now. So that's a green card that allows permanent residency for people who are outstanding, whether in academics or research or professionals, people that are adding values and are very like outstanding. EB1 is also for more outstanding people, but it's just different, just for people who are like outstanding. That's the National Interest Waiver NIW visa. That's the EB2, and the EB1 is also for very outstanding people. They're like levels to this thing. So the EB1 is like the first priority. So your company can actually file for you. It costs about $10,000 to $15,000. So your company can file for you. That's what I'm enjoying right now. And in exchange for your services, of course, because they are not open for charity. So, or you can actually do it yourself. So people can file from their own country. For example, Nigeria. Sorry, I'm using Nigeria because I'm from Nigeria. So you can like file from your own country. It's just that it's actually expensive. Of course, not as expensive as the investment program visa pathway, but at least it's still relatively like doable because you just get yourself a green card, and that's a good thing if you ask me. If you've listened to this point of the video, you are my real MVP. So you're my very important person. Thank you so much for listening till this time. I hope this helps you. I hope this helps you to, like, check out the pathways and see the one that really is best suits you or your friends or your families, anyone. I hope I've been able to help a little bit. This is just my opinion. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not working with the USCIS, but I can just give you this for free. So thank you for listening to this point. Please subscribe, like, share my videos. Till next time, bye.